Hello everyone, welcome back to another video where today we are going to be going over the contents of Doctor Who magazine, or at least, some of the highlights from Doctor Who magazine. I'm not going to be going over the whole magazine, as obviously I still want to encourage people buying the magazine, as the magazine, in my opinion, has become way better since Russell T Davies has taken over, not to sugarcoat it. There's been so much more content, so much more stuff. There's so many production details, the ongoing adventures of the 14th Doctor through comic books, all this lovely stuff. It's been absolutely fantastic. But yeah, just before we get into it, if you could do me a teeny tiny little favour and click subscribe, then that would be very much appreciated. We are trying to get to 20,000 subscribers as quickly as possible, so any support would be greatly appreciated on that front. I also have a Twitter and an Instagram, which are linked in the description below. But with that said, let's get into the video. So one of the cool things this issue opens with is Phil Collinson going over the casting of Ruth Madley in the 60th as Shirley Ann Bingham, as well as the release of the Christmas Day trailer, which is pretty cool. And then we get our letter from the showrunner segment, which is one of my favourite segments of Doctor Who magazine. And there's a couple of interesting things that are revealed in this segment, mainly that it was actually the BBC's idea to do the Disney collaboration, that they wanted, to sort of expand Doctor Who, and apparently, according to Russell, they view Doctor Who as a very important part of their whole ecosystem. They were very, very much wanting Doctor Who to be a big thing, which is very nice to see. He's also done his 3 words from an episode, specifically episode 2 of series 14. The 3 words are Liverpool, non-diegetic, and legions. So yeah, that's a little tradition that he does, basically giving us random words and things to speculate about, which is pretty exciting. I just love the little details we get in Doctor Who magazine each month. It's like a new thing to look forward to. It's almost like the Doctor Who equivalent of an advent calendar. And then we get the production diary of Scott Hancock, which I won't go into too much detail on, but obviously it goes through the day-to-day processes of working on Doctor Who. I just love this Christmas decorated Cyberman in the Bad Wolf offices. That's very cool. But yeah, we get an interview with Millie Gibson, who'll play Ruby Sunday. And one of the cool things here I just wanted to highlight is that the magazine makes mention of the fact that Millie Gibson received texts and phone calls of support from Jodie Whittaker and Amanda Gill, who are apparently really, really nice, supportive, and friendly to her. I just think that's nice because, the fandom sometimes can be so much involved in pitting certain eras, certain actors, certain creatives against each other. It's nice to see that in the show itself, regardless of what you think about the quality of any individual episode, the actors themselves seem like the most supportive people to each other, which is always really nice to see. And then, arguably, the biggest feature of this issue, From Cardiff with Love, which is a massive, massive interview segment with the new team. So Russell, Julie, Phil, Jane, all of those lovely people. And look at that picture, man. What an iconic photo that is. The team back together. That's absolutely fantastic. A Bond reference as well. Oh, love that. But yeah, one of the interesting things that this segment reveals is that the whole £10 million budget thing that's been speculated by certain tabloids has been exaggerated, according to Russell T Davies, and that apparently Doctor Who will have a budget increase, and a very handsome budget, according to Russell, but it's not quite as big as what some places have made out, but they've still got, plenty of budget and a budget increase due to the Disney Plus deal. Disney do also seem to have, some level of, input in terms of, obviously it's still Russell's vision, and Disney are still backing Russell's vision, but, occasionally they might just send notes that the team may or may not use, I think they mentioned, the opening not being quite as fun as some of the other openings in an episode, so they changed the opening a bit. So yeah, stuff like that, little things, but I think that's pretty cool. Another thing that's quite interesting that I saw was, apparently, when it came to the casting of the 15th Doctor, they auditioned male, female, and a non-binary actor. So that should put to rest some of the speculation that RTD just went in with the expressed goal of just casting a male, because I've seen some people saying that, and yeah, turns out that wasn't the case. He went for male, female, non-binary. So the casting really is open to anyone now, which I think, is the best way to go about it, Give us more talent, more wide breadths of talent, give us some, fresh people, some fresh faces. Yeah, I'm more than happy with that. And obviously, as we know, a huge driving force behind Russell coming back in the first place was the watch-alongs, and Emily Cookie goes over that in detail in some of the earlier parts of the magazine. And then we get the ongoing 14th Doctor comic strip segment. So I've sort of done a brief recap of each of these kind of issues with each of my videos on Doctor Who Magazine. So to briefly recap the story here, last time we saw the Doctor was about to get exterminated, however the Daleks failed to exterminate him and try multiple times to do so, however realise that they can't for whatever reason, and they basically send the Doctor up to help them figure out why this is, why can't we exterminate you? The Doctor medically scans himself, figures out that apparently everything's fine with him, and apparently it's the Daleks, something to do with them being genetically identical and not actually separate Daleks, but sort of fakes, sort of copies. So that's quite interesting. And then, in retaliation, the Daleks blow up Earth, and then that leads us into the next segment. So yeah, I have no idea where Liberation of the Daleks is going, but I'm excited to see, what they do with it, I suppose. And that pretty much wraps up this edition of Doctor Who Magazine discussion. Like I said, I don't like to go too in-depth on Doctor Who Magazine, I just like to give you guys the highlights of Doctor Who Magazine. I guess another note is that Russell mentions that Mavic Chen could be referenced, the guy from Dalek's Master Plan, in perhaps a future episode, so that's interesting. Didn't really have much to say on that, but I thought I'd mention it here. But yeah, if you did enjoy the video, be sure to give it a like, comment down below your thoughts, subscribe if you're new, and I'll see you later.